has got to be the first Neighborhood Treasures that we've ever done, where I don't even know exactly who we're going to talk to today. I know it's supposed to be a speakeasy. Speakeasy, ring the bell for entry. I don't know. I'll give it a shot. Oh! Hello?
Hi.
How are you? Maurice?
How can I help?
I'm being told to come to the speakeasy. I don't know what a speakeasy is.
What makes you think this is a speakeasy?
Let me ask you this. What do I have to do to get in this door?
Maybe a password?
Password. How about Neighborhood Treasures?
I'll let it slide this way.
Yes! Woo! All right. I made it. Barely.
And just to be clear, you're here for the speakeasy.
I am here for the speakeasy. Yes. Okay. Through this door. Now we're talking. How'd this all get here?
It was a labor of love from my father. He bought the building 30 years ago and did a complete renovation. And 15 years ago, I decided to open a lounge in the space. And the fact that the building is circa 1927, it made sense for it to be a speakeasy.
Now, when I think of speakeasy, I'm thinking of Prohibition. So am I along the right track here?
You are, yeah. It's intended to be very underground, kind of secretive, very vibey. It's a very intentional throwback to that era. A speakeasy was a place that was illicitly selling alcohol during the time of Prohibition. So in order to gain access to one of these places, you had to be in the know. Number one, and so that usually meant that you not only knew somebody, that you knew a knock, that you knew a password to actually get in the door. And now, fast forward to modern day speakeasies, the common denominator is usually that it's a cocktail lounge and typically a little hard to find. They're all over the place globally. It's now a thing that people seek out. I think that it feels a little exclusive and special once you've made it in, you know, and it's also very laid back too, so it's not like a wild kind of party place. It's kind of like, wow, okay, I'm in here, I'm gonna soak it in, I'm gonna sit back and figure out all the little details and enjoy myself.
I guess your bartenders have to also feel this experience as well, right? Do you look for a certain type of bartender?
It's just somebody that really enjoys what they do, enjoys their craft, because it's always a collaboration on our cocktails. We only serve cocktails, so we don't have the distraction of food. So we have to also be able to push them out relatively quickly, which is kind of an oxymoron with a high-end cocktail. They take a little bit of time.
Tell me about your fascination with this time period. Where did that come from?
Honestly, it came straight from the architecture of this building. It kind of forces you to kind of imagine what it was like back in those times. It's very opulent, very over the top, and so you can't help but be romanced by it, or at least I can't.
Wow. Do you see the same faces, or is it interesting to see new faces?
Actually, about 85% of my speakeasy clientele is from out of town.
Really?
Absolutely. So
You're
it's
getting
just
some word of mouth
new
here.
people every time, almost every single time. We have a few regulars and a few locals, but largely undiscovered by the local community, and/or I hear that they're a little concerned that they won't actually be able to get in if they have heard it, or they have it on the bucket list, but they haven't made it. But really, it's people coming through the city looking specifically maybe for a speakeasy. We get to capture all that and send them away, hopefully, with a good impression of St. Louis.
Wow, that's quite the mystique. So on a regular night, this will not be seen.
This little area is actually additional seating for the speakeasy. However, this stairwell is not accessible to guests on a speakeasy night. This will be a darkened stairwell and partitioned off because the rest of the building is reserved for when we do private events.
Okay.
Would you like to go up there and check it out?
Love to.
Okay.
Love to check this out.
So this is the Grand Hall. It was originally a retail camera store for Eastman Kodak.
Kimberly, this artwork is remarkable. I mean, what do we have here?
Well, there's a lot of original architecture, of course. All the woodwork is original, all the molding is original. We don't necessarily know that this was how it was painted in 1927, that the ceilings were in this fashion, but all those architectural elements in the center are original, as well as all of this, which would have been display cases for Eastman Kodak. The newer elements are the etched glass and the metalworking. These portraits were added, and of course everything that was added was intended to skew and not be able to tell what's original and what's not, you know.
Sure.
So very much staying in the element and the time period of the building.
Just really just puts people back in time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
You can see, it really get your wheels going up there, doesn't it? In terms of what you can do with this space.
Yes.
Weddings?
We do weddings, tons of corporate. Originally, to be fully honest, I only wanted to open the lounge. I only wanted to utilize the lower level. I quickly realized I was in the wedding business. It's been such a pleasure because the venue is so non-traditional and unique that I tend to draw those type of people. As weddings are a lot of work, but at the end of it, it's like, wow, it's something that they're never going to forget, and to have been a part of that, you know, is pretty special.
When I say a neighborhood treasure, this is a treasure.
Thank you.
With all of this incredible architecture, I never imagined walking from that alley and seeing this in here. Blows you away.
Yeah, it's intentional. It's intentional that you're not going to expect what you walk into here. It is a treasure, and it's such a piece of history that has been preserved. And to me, it's just such a pleasure to share. And everyone that comes in here walks away with a different experience, but it's always a lasting one.
The next time I come, do I need a new password?
Oh yeah, it changes every week. We post weekly what our hours are, because they are inconsistent because of the private bookings. So we post on Instagram, and it has the weekly hours as well as the password.
I'll be ready next time. It was awesome.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.